Have I ever experienced homophobia? Yes, I've heard homophobic comments made like behind my back or like in the background, and I've had homophobia said right to my face. How did I discover LPS? I discovered LPS through a childhood friend of mine that was over 12 years ago. What LPS tubers inspired you to make LPS content? Had a lot of different influences, so you're gonna get a list. Have you ever come out to your friends or family? Yes and no. The first time I came out as bisexual was probably 5 years ago. I came out to just about everybody. I came out to my family, came out to, I think, most of my friends, and just about everybody else. And I was very fortunate to have a relatively positive reaction. My family accepted me, and I'm very thankful for that. A few years ago, I identified as asexual biromantic. I've only come out to like a handful of people, a few friends, and just a handful of strangers. Not necessarily my family, because I don't have a need to come out. And as I'm questioning myself again, still, I don't really feel the need to come out right now because I don't know how I identify. I mean, most people that I know already know I'm not straight, so it would not really make a difference to me for me to come out again. When did I realize I was part of the LGBTQIA+ community? I was about 6 or 7 when I had my first crush on a girl. I obviously did not know it was a crush then. I just knew it. I felt different towards her than all my other friends, and my feelings for this girl developed into like a massive crush. I experienced a crush on a few other girls, had a few crushes on guys. I learned of the term asexual, and I thought this kind of leans toward what I feel. I thought a lot about it, and I felt that asexual romantic was something that I identified as more than I identified as bisexual. What advice can you give to someone who is currently questioning their sexuality? As someone who currently is questioning their own sexuality, I have to learn and remember that whether you know who you are and you know your sexuality or gender identity or you don't, know that you are loved and you are valid, and nothing's ever going to change that. Are the characters from the project based off any truth? Okay, before we get into answering that question, I need to explain something. If you remember watching my short film I made in like 2020 for Pride called The Project, basically it was a bunch of LGBTQIA+ kids teaming up for a group project, not knowing they were all part of the same community, basing their project off being in the community, like their experiences, coming out, finding acceptance, etc. Not only is the writing and the acting terrible, but I made a lot of really poor mistakes that I really should have recognized early on, and for some reason I didn't. I'll tell you one example that I still remember. If you remember Monica, transgender frog, I remember quoting this. I was born as a boy. No, that's transphobic. It should have been, I was assigned male at birth. The only character that's based off any truth is Pam, that demigirl queer panda. So she's based off sort of my experiences. They come out to some people and they don't accept them and treat them horribly, but they come out to their family and they treat them really well. And changes schools, and she finds solace within different people and making new friends. It's the only character that bases off any truth, and even then it's not fully true off of my own experiences, but it's somewhat true. How did you come up with the idea of making the project? I still sadly remember how I made this. I remember putting down 5 random LPS on my filming set, and I'm thinking, this will be a video, and it sadly was. Do you have a favorite LGBTQI+ couple out of your LPS? I must say probably Ari and Lori. Do you have any favorites from any other LPS content? I must say I really like Layla and Jenny together. I think they're so cute. Are there any pride flags that are your favorite based off color or design? No, I actually think that they're all very pretty. Are there any pride songs that you haven't done yet for videos? Yes, specifically one song, Home by Morg XN. I hope I said that right. I really love that song. I have no idea how to use that song in a video. I just highly suggest you all listen to it. I think it's really good. What is your gender identity and sexuality? I'm a cisgender girl, although for a little while I thought maybe I was a demigirl, but I don't believe I am. I use she, her pronouns, and right now all I can identify as is asexual by romantic, but I'm questioning my romantic attractions. I have a few different terms that could technically describe how I feel, but because there's so many, I'm just going to show you all. What are your favorite hobbies besides editing? Besides editing, I like to read and write most of the time. What was my favorite childhood movie? Disney's Lilo and Stitch was probably my favorite childhood movie. What are my favorite foods? I'm very much a snacker, so I like dried cranberries, almonds, crackers, goldfish, granola bars, stuff like that. What is my worst fear? Failing. What career are you interested in? I'm very interested in being a mental health counselor, but I've also considered being an author. Do I still like LPS? I like watching the videos every once in a while, but even then, that's kind of sparse. I don't like to film with them anymore. Really, no, I don't really care for them anymore. What is my favorite color? I love just about any shade of blue. Who is my favorite YouTuber? I don't have a favorite YouTuber per se. I would highly recommend checking these channels out.